2026. And then they're going to make more money in the midterms. It's going to tide them over 2027, and they waiting on the presidential in 2028. Those of us in black-owned media are completely frozen out in the presidential year. So therefore, we ain't got nothing left for 25. And then we holding on. I'm just going to let y'all know. We did well in 2020. I need y'all to understand. What we made and did in 2020 paid for a lot of our stuff in 2021.
Yes, sir.
I'm just trying to, so we are not, so black people, we are on this end. This is where we are. Right, turn the camera. This is where we are. We're here. This is black people right here. This is black people. We got the remote. But we are not in the offices. This is us right here. We are the eyeballs. We're not the ones who are deciding what you actually see. So why is Taraji Henson complaining about her salary? Because we ain't the ones who are funding the movies.
Yes, sir.
What did Tyler Perry say? Tyler Perry said he paid Cicely Tyson $1 million for 1 day of work, because when she did Sounder, she got $8,000. Was it $8,000 or $3,000? She got like $8,000.
Sure.
Cicely Tyson, in her last 10 to 15 years of life, Tyler Perry paid her what she had never gotten in her career. Tyler Perry said he's paid other female actresses a lot more money for 1 day or 2 days work because what they never got paid. Taraji said that her scale was set when Tyler paid her what she was actually worth. Ain't that interesting that it was somebody black who was the decision maker who paid Taraji her worth? Y'all, we gotta understand. We gotta understand the economics of this. And everything y'all have heard us discuss in the last hour and 15 minutes, that literally is Dr. King's sermon on April 3rd, 1968.
Yeah.
He literally was talking about the money.
Yeah.
And he literally named the companies that black people should not spend with. He literally said to black people, invest and put your money in black banks and black insurance companies. He literally said in his sermon that black people are individually poor, but collectively we represent one of the largest economies in the world. What I'm trying to say to black people and the conscious non-black people who are watching, we are driving the algorithm. So if we can drive 43 million views of Kat and Shannon talking, and I'm not hating,
Come on.
can we drive 20 million on this? Alphas and AKs and deltas and kappas and iotas and sigmas and zetas. Hope I mentioned everybody. What happens? Divine Nine rented out movie theaters. Listen to me, y'all. Divine Nine rented out movie theaters to help The Color Purple earn almost $25 million on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
That money is going to Warner Brothers, which is Discovery.
Tell it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Tell it.
Divine Nine decide as a collective that they are going to pick 4 books to put on the New York Times bestseller list every single month? Same scale, same institutions. Can you imagine Divine Nine and the Lynx and the Prince Hall Masons and the Eastern Star say we're gonna take our collective members and we're going to say, these are the 4 books that we're buying in January. These are the 4 books that we're buying in February. These are the 4 books that we're buying in March. Folks, it's the money. But we have to be willing to use our collective power. And this is all Dr. King was trying to tell us before he was assassinated in 1968. Final comments, Reese, you've been great.
The reality is that Black people are always a sure bet when you want a return on our investment. And so we just have to stop being a bargain. And we have to continue to drive the culture, drive what's validated, but we have to be the validators validating ourselves. Roland mentioned the New York Times bestseller. We shouldn't wait until something is a New York Times bestseller to then say we're gonna buy it. Oh, now it's a New York Times bestseller. We can drive the conversation. We can drive things forward as we have always been doing to our benefit. And that's what we need to start doing. We have to harness that collective power because individually we don't have the power to change it on our own. But we recognize our collective power can make the difference to our benefit. It's not charity. It's a return on investments for ourselves in a way that we all benefit and we're better off for it.
And to that point there, and y'all, I've told y'all this, that control room was built by a Black engineering company. These lights were installed by a Black lighting company. That green screen was purchased from a Black drape company. That news desk was built by a Black set design company. So when you invest in Black-owned media, we're investing in Black companies. Those people have employees and families. That's how it works. So when we talk about why you have to buy Black or support Black-owned media, then, because guess what? When the money is going to Discovery and Comcast and Viacom and Disney, that's going to the shareholders.
That's right.
And we already know only the top 10% folk in this country, the top 10% of the country own 93% of stocks.
Yes, sir.
So again, I'm not saying, oh, don't support the color purple. Don't support Black Panther. I'm saying support Black movies. But what I'm also saying, while we are saying support Black movies, we also have got to be saying, where are the Black executives on these movie sets? Where's the Black catering companies? Taraji talked about them. They were trying to get them to drive themselves or put themselves in the van. Well, I'm sorry, who has the transportation contract? Let's stop being enamored with the Black face in front of the screen. Or, oh, we got a Black director. We need to have a 360-degree economic view that goes beyond us. And this is where we've got to stop, Greg, just being so excited to see a Black face. And again, I'm not dissing Jackie Robinson, but we were so elated with Jackie Robinson going to the major leagues, and we said, man, we gonna show these white folk we just as good. We were already great. Dizzy Dean said the best talent was in the Negro Leagues.
Right.
But we were so fixated on going to the major leagues that it literally killed the Negro Leagues.
That's right.
And you know what they did? They said, y'all come on. Bring us all your talent and bring your eyeballs, because y'all gonna buy tickets and y'all gonna buy jerseys. And guess what? They did not say, let's bring one of these team owners.
No, sir.
Abe Saperstein, his goal. Abe Saperstein's goal. He wasn't Black, but Abe Saperstein's goal was for the Harlem Globetrotters to be an NBA team.
Yes, sir.
And do you know what they did? They drafted a Harlem Globetrotter player.
That's right.
And there never was a Black team, and there wasn't a Black owner in the NBA until Bob Johnson, who sold the team to Michael Jordan, who has now since sold the team.
That's right.
We gotta stop giving folks our labor and not getting our reward back. Greg, go ahead.
Yes, sir. No, Roland, you know, it reminds me, this time, just a little bit, last month, this time in 2022, you covered the Celebration Bowl. It's a beautiful moment. And I went down, I was there, and I was there this last year. I went to the Battle of the Bands, old HBCU marching band alum myself, Tennessee State band. Very few people there. But it bothered me because the Battle of the Bands, Jackson State, North Carolina A&T, Virginia State, Florida Memorial, branded by these white companies that when they are beginning to understand they can just harvest our cultural capital and profit. And of course, Celebration Bowl was you know, it was 40-some thousand people there, Florida A&M and Howard. Willie Simmons, the champion, Florida A&M champion coach, now the running backs coach at Duke, because his dream is to be the coach of a Power 5 football conference football team. White validation. I got nothing against Willie Simmons, but and then Florida A&M alumni trying to raise money to keep him, raised $100,000 very quickly. That ain't no money in the era of Nick Saban and all the rest of these plantation sports complex. You're not gonna beat them with the dollar, but this is where I'm going with this. We are watching now, everybody watching. Some people on fixed income, some people don't have the capacity. You have made a firm commitment to create a network that is accessible and free to anybody who wants to bring their eyeballs to it, regardless of how they bring it in this over-the-top platform. Whether they got a Fire Stick at Amazon, whether they are watching on YouTube or Facebook, whether they have downloaded the app, whether they're going through all these, but you've made it there. Those of us who have the ability to invest in that vision, if everybody does a little, nobody has to do a lot. You can't raise enough money to keep a football coach whose dream is to coach in the white league at the HBCU, but you can certainly make enough of a contribution to keep the clean glass of water standard of black news media available to all of us, particularly when these folks who are our open enemies will not invest in it, not only because they want to keep the money for themselves, because they know what will happen as our imaginations are fed and our information is fed by a standard of news that will in fact do the kind of things the black press used to do. This is why everyone who is able must invest in this space. If not for yourself, for the people who would but don't have it, who don't know yet that they need it. And we've got to, especially as we're going into 2024, when this may be for all the marbles, we better be very serious about that now. So that's all I want to say, brother. And thank you for continuing to keep that faith.
I'm going to close this out this way because I just think sometimes y'all need to have a visual understanding of how you invest and how there's a return on that. So we started the show off and we played for you an interview that I had with Tennessee Representative Gloria Johnson. This is the interview right here. And I just want y'all, everybody watching, just understand. So that was next to the green room in the student center where I spoke. It was just me. I don't travel with people. But I want you to understand, I just need y'all to understand how that happens. So we're sitting in there. So this is a DJI Action selfie stick. Okay, that's what this is. So we're sitting there and I'm like, I didn't know she was gonna be there. I said, hey, let's sit down and do a quick interview. So fine. I said, I need about 5 minutes. We did a 9-minute interview. So all I simply did was sit there and take this $49.99 selfie stick, this here, with this $399 DJI Action camera, and then put this here on here, and then take this $329 DJI Action wireless wireless microphone, connected to this particular camera. There was already good lighting in there, and sat there and did the interview. And so some of y'all sitting here going, damn, hold up, you mean to tell me? Yep, that's right. I sat there, set up myself, put this whole thing together, and then did that. Another interview I did was with Reverend Middlebrook who is one of the co-founders of the event. He was there in Memphis with Dr. King on April 4th, 1968. I'm gonna share that interview with you, with y'all later. Plug that up, put these two microphones on me and Gloria. That's how we did the interview. This whole setup right here, y'all, you helped pay for, is $800. It would have cost me $800 to hire a camera person, but I pulled this out of my backpack. Why am I saying all of this here? We don't have CNN money. We can't afford to say, oh, we're gonna have a camera op and a producer travel with you and go around doing interviews. This is how we make this happen. This is how we make it happen. We get it done. This is a DJI Action 4 camera. I asked them, are y'all live streaming my speech? They said yes. Keenan is sitting here, the stream wasn't up. Keenan said, man, I don't see the feed. Not a problem. Set this bad boy here on the podium, recorded my speech. When I get home, I'm gonna upload it to Keenan. We're gonna live stream the speech later. This camera's $399. I'm saying all of this because we are gonna do what black people do. We gonna make it work.
Yes, sir.
We gonna make it work.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes. Yes, damn it.
Make it work.
Yes.
But I need our people to understand we will never be able to achieve scale and have 20, 30, 50, 100 people, have crews in multiple states, have us going to the election season. We should have folks who are our go-to people in North Carolina, in Florida, in Wisconsin, in Philadelphia, in Michigan. We don't have that. Nobody else has it. I played you the Hakeem Jeffries comment. When the Congressional Black Caucus comes out of their weekly meetings on Wednesday, there's not a single black press person out there waiting on them. Because we can't afford to pay a congressional correspondent $100,000 just to cover Congress. I told the CDC, if we were able to get just $2 million of the $1 billion the federal government spends every year on advertising, I will hire 3 correspondents and 3 videographers in 90 days. I told them that. But I need the Congressional Black Caucus be putting pressure on these agencies to say, who y'all spending money with? Department of Defense spending $600 million a year. Who you spending money with? I met with OMD, who controls the U.S. Army budget. They ain't got back with me. Do you understand what I'm saying here? This is what I'm trying to get our people to understand.
Yes.
It is not that we cannot do it. It is not that it's not going to be quality. Because y'all see this show. I was in Jamaica and I pulled up the show. I was like, and I never get to be on that. I said, damn, the show looked good. And there were some things I didn't like what I saw. Change this. Okay, I want y'all to tweak this here. But the bottom line is, I'll put this up against the other networks.
Oh, no question.
But we are never going to be able to cover more of what we need to cover as long as we are scrambling for dollars every single month. And so this year, let me be clear, I'm putting pressure on the political people. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I've made it perfectly clear to a lot of these groups out here, environmental group, pro-choice groups, progressive groups, campaigns, the number is 10 million. $10 million in advertising on this platform between now and November. That's my number. Because you know who else has a number? Sinclair.
Come on.
NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, they all have numbers. I've made it clear, my number is 10 million for advertising. The 10 million for advertising is going to allow me to go on the road and do 4 to 6 town hall broadcasts every single month. It's going to allow me to go spend a week hitting 5 cities in North Carolina, taking the show on the road. Do y'all understand when Fox News has a town hall, how that gets paid for? The town halls that you see on CNN and Fox News cost between $500,000 to $750,000. one town hall. But you can spend $750,000 on a town hall when you getting $1.2 billion. This is what I want us to understand. So when a lot of y'all sit here and say, oh man, you sitting here trying to beg them for advertising, Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC, New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, USA Today, Sinclair, Liberty, all of these media groups, all of these media companies right now are calculating how much money they're gonna get. So those of us in black-owned media should be doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every black person who whines and complains when I talk about this stuff, how in the hell do you think they are able to do what they do?
Mm.
And guess what? When we get our fair share, then we can say, yeah, we're gonna do a $50 million movie, and yeah, Taraji, here's your $1 million. Yes, so-and-so, here's your $2 million.
Mm.
Every time you hear a story of a black movie, a black network, a black production having to do stuff and try to pull and put, it's because the money was not there. Y'all, it's there. They just don't want to spend it with us. Until we put that pressure on them to say, oh, that's going to be return on investment. I'm going to say it right now. General Motors, y'all didn't spend no money with us last year. I'm expecting an allocation in 2024. Toyota, it's a bunch of black people buy Toyotas. Where are y'all at? Ford, where are you at? Chrysler, where are you? Wagoneer, where are you? Hyundai, you got a black CEO. A lot of black folks buy Hyundais. Are you spending your fair share with black-owned media? That's just in the automotive sector. Pharmaceuticals. Oh, we know y'all love depending on black people. Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, all these pharmaceuticals, where is the money? Black folks, when we get our fair share there, you're gonna see more shows, food shows. You're gonna see more specials. You're gonna see more show hosts. You're gonna see, guess what? A morning news show. You're gonna see weekend programming. The exact same way CNN and Fox and all were built, we can do the exact same thing. But as Dr. King said, we have to operate in the collective in order to make it happen. Reese and Greg, I appreciate y'all being on today's show. Thank you so very much. Folks, I hope you have a much better understanding of the media landscape. We started this thing off trying to explain to you how media drives narrative politically. We then segued into why progressives and liberals should be funding more of their own media so they're not sitting here saying, why is our messaging so bad? Then we segued into trying to explain to you the infrastructure on how we as black folks, how we drive the revenue of largely white media companies, Tubi, Disney, Comcast, and all of these different companies. And then we segued into black-owned media. This is not hard, y'all. We have the knowledge and the expertise and the know-how. We, as we gear up for Dr. King's birthday, should be doing the exact same thing he told us to do on April 3rd, 1968, and that is to use our power and make it clear, if you are not doing right by us, we're not going to do right by you. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people power movement.
A lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We're going to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind $100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money going to go to PO Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20236-0196.
I want to salute Roland Martin, Unfiltered Black Star Network, because you are saying what is the truth. Harlem Network News, we at the beginning. I understand it, but you saying what it is. You saying what it is. And I want people to understand that on large scale. Thank you, Roland Martin, for doing what you do. And listen, Harlem Network News, we going to pull up. We pulling up. We pulling up. Pulling up. We breaking the glass ceiling. We pushing through the pain. We doing our black job. And we're doing it with what we got. We're bringing our folding chair to the table. And that's what we're doing. And we're going to continue to make a way out of no way. Yes, we can. Yes, we will. Yes, we are. We need you, the people, to stand with us. Thank you.